Week 2, the pursuit. That's the name we're going with. Just finding that we're pursuing things in life, so we're just going to stick with it. Super quick and easy. So the pursuit, week 2, Hyrox duos, and then the marathon training at the same time. Patrick, how you feeling?
Surprisingly, a lot better than week 1, and then what I thought I was going to feel like. Got these new Sauconys for training, and they have like a half. How do you describe it? Like a partial carbon foot plate.
Yeah, I think they fall in the super trainer category of shoe. So if you know shoes, you know running shoes, you'll know what that means. Where it's not a true race day shoe, which has a full carbon plate, but it's got max cushion and then half the carbon plate that still propels you forward.
Yeah, and so I guess just adjusting to that carbon plate has been painful. So running and just doing anything in them, it's just like weird, sharp, aching pains every step, running or walking. But finally, after a 10-mile long run yesterday, I don't know why, I feel a lot better. So, which is really good. Last week on Sunday on our rest day, I felt like garbage. My feet and legs were still thrashed. So I think my body's adjusting well to just all of this. And I'm hydrated. I'm not really sore. I'm also doing a lot of yoga now. Because I need at least to be making stretching a priority, and I'm assuming you do too, just with the amount of work we're doing. So that's helping a lot too. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, big thing is going to be recovery. I learned in my last failed marathon block where I made it 10 weeks and it was like really intense running. Like I was doing an intermediate plan and I got hurt. I had to tap out. So I know recovery is just going to be the biggest part of this process. Like there's obviously going to be bad days as far as like not hitting our times or not doing as good of a job on a workout as we would hope to, but the key thing is being able to show up the next day or the next week. And like Patrick said, I feel surprisingly good week 2, and definitely I guess 24 hours after running my long run, I expected to be way more sore because normally I am, but I feel good. So yeah, it's just a proponent of continuing to like use the Theragun, foam roll, stretch, that sort of thing, and hopefully our bodies just keep adjusting. So
Adjusting as I'm getting stronger, I think.
yep. Yeah, so with that, let's recap what we did this past week. So just from a general perspective, we ran 5 days. Technically, I guess 6 if you count the Friday workout. But we had a 4 mile easy day on Monday, and then we followed that up with a 2-a-day lift in the afternoon. That was Hyrox focused. We had some squats in there, really crushed the legs. Tuesday was a shorter tempo run, and also followed by a workout that was Hyrox based. Wednesday was a big tempo run where it was essentially 10 minutes at faster than 10K personal best speed, 2 minutes break, 8 minutes at that pace, 2 minutes break, 6 minutes, all the way down to 2 minutes. So like, I'm sure we're going to talk about it in a couple minutes, but that was a cool workout to really get through. And then Thursday was just an easy 4 miles, which for me that really sucked. My legs were destroyed. Then Friday we did a half Hyrox, which was really brutal. And then Saturday was the 10-mile easy. So Patrick, highs and lows, what do you got?
My lowest low was also the easy 4 miler on Thursday, just because once again my feet and legs just weren't cooperating at all. I just figured it wasn't worth putting myself through more pain, so I stopped at like 2.5 miles and just went home and did like an hour of yoga for Achilles and feet and plantar fasciitis and all that stuff. And that kind of slowly started bringing me back to like normalcy, which was good. The high, I'm going to go with the high runs. That was really difficult, obviously, and like a test, but the runs I surprisingly felt really good after each workout interval. And was keeping kind of the same pace, I think, throughout the entirety of it. So that one felt really good, and I'm excited to do whenever we have another half Hyrox or full one down the road because that's obviously the tester. And I felt really good with that. So those are my highs.
Yeah, and for me, I think my low is also the 4 mile after the hard tempo day. And it's just, I did it probably 12 hours. So I ran the tempo in the PM, and then I woke up and ran the 4 mile in the morning. So I think that was a factor, like not enough recovery time, but mentally I was out of it. Like it became a run walk, which I haven't had to run walk on a 4 mile run in a long time. So like that was just a proponent of like just the week, like being tired. And then the high, I think it was that tempo day. I did enjoy the Hyrox because I was proud of the times for my running, like running compromised and like really sucking wind, but like still being in a spot where I was proud of from a time perspective. But that tempo day was cool because at least for me that was a big day of accountability where I like was scared of this run. I thought like mentally I couldn't do it, and getting through it physically, like it's such a mental game of like, yeah, you can totally do this. But leading up to that, I texted Patrick in a moment of weakness, like, hey, because I knew his feet were hurting him. I was like, hey, are we gonna push this run? He's like, nope, gonna do it tonight. And I was like, okay, I am too then. And then it started raining because so I was gonna wake up and do it. I was weak, did not do it in the morning. And then it started pouring in the afternoon. I was like, dang, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this in. And then it stopped raining, and my mom was like, yeah, you need to get outside and go do it. And I was just like, all right. And then I did it, and like my goal was my 10K PR is right around 8 minutes per mile. So I just had that as a base case, like, all right, I'm going to push it and see what I can do, but like I need to be faster in this. And my times were all right around like 7:30 to 7:40s. So like blew my expectation of what I aimed to do like out of the water. And then Patrick came in and beat me, which
That's right.
like that was a big moment for us because it's like we're right where we want to be 2 weeks in. Like I didn't expect this run out of myself, and I candidly speaking, I thought I would beat Patrick's times, and then he beat me in every single one. So yeah, it was just a good sign. Like 2 weeks in, we're hopefully just making steady progress, and like we have a base goal of what we want to do in the Hyrox, and then ultimately the marathon. It's like hopefully we just keep inching towards that, and then like 10 weeks from now we're way past that. So
And that brings up a few different things for me. One is like struggling with a 4 miler, and then I love the 10 miler, and we already talked about the Hyrox and that tempo run, but it's just crazy how like the body can adjust so quickly to recovery. That stuff's really interesting to me because once again I couldn't even finish a 4 miler, and then a 10 miler was just genuinely fun, and I felt really good. So it's cool. Recovery is obviously really, really important. Stretching, hydration, all that good stuff. And then also just like accountability. So I don't know if we fully introduced this. I think we did the first one actually, but Tristan and I are not in the same state, obviously. That's why we're doing this over Riverside, the software. But we're keeping each other accountable in different states with different jobs. We both have multiple jobs. I have to travel a ton for work. Tristan's always traveling. So it's just kind of like a non-excusable accountability factor that I've never had before, that I'm grateful for, because once again, like 8 to 10 workouts a week with 2 jobs is no joke for anybody. And it's cool to have someone, even in different states, on the same mission, on the same path, pushing you forward while you're pushing them forward. So I think it's a really rare thing, and I'm glad we're doing this because of that, and hopefully it motivates other friends or friend groups to just figure out a few things that are really difficult to do that we're scared of, and do them together and push each other.
yeah, I mean, there's that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And like, I mean, just playing team sports your whole life, like there's a difference in being on a team versus playing something that's individual. And like running a marathon is individual, but training with someone to do it, like that's a different level of like feeling in this block that I've had that's different than what I've done before, and I like it a lot because I know from my earlier training blocks that week 2 is still early, but like to feel this good and like optimistic and just have like a general sense of just happiness and joy with this training, even though it's super hard, is cool to have.
Yeah, I haven't really had any like days suck. Some days suck, but I haven't really had any like genuine negative moments.
Yeah.
Just because I know someone else is doing it right now, and he's trying to beat me.
Yeah, and I find myself like when I know you're out there doing a run or like doing the workout, I'm just like, he's doing it right now, like I just did it or I'm about to do it, and it's just cool. Like we're a team right now, and that's cool. It's cool to have this when these types of activities are typically done alone.
Yeah.
And so I do really like that we're doing this. And I guess, do you want to wrap by going into week 3, what we have on the docket?
Yeah, let's do it. So our schedules are going to be different, but we're doing obviously all of the same workouts, just on different days, because we both are just traveling. I'll be in Houston from Monday through Thursday with no Hyrox specific gym. So the front of my week's going to be heavily running, and then kind of the back end is going to be where the lifts are involved. But your structure kind of makes more sense from previous weeks. If you want to explain yours.
Yeah, and so we're still following what we've done the last 2 weeks now, where it's 5 days of running. So 4 of those days are from the BPN marathon plan, and then one of those days is a 247 like hard tempo day. That at this point in the marathon planning, when it hasn't picked up yet, like I'm finding that that's additional miles that we need at this point because we're ready for it. But it also like really pushes us. And then I have 3 days in the gym. So 2 days, and then 1 day. Friday is just going to be an off day from running, but it's going to be like a hard, functional Hyrox day. And then we have 10 miles again for the long run. We have 12 next week, and then 13 the week after. So it's like a steady build in the long run, which is exciting. But just from my base calculations, we're going to be between 28 and 30 miles for this week. This coming week. In week 2 we were at 30 miles on the week, so kind of right around what we've been doing. So it's just about like just still building the engine, still just being consistent.
I'm honestly excited for it to scale up. Like I'm just really optimistic after this week with how both our bodies are feeling. So whenever that does happen, hopefully like week 4, I think we'll be ready.
Yeah, I'm excited for the days or the weeks where we're like mid-30s, where it's like the easy runs no longer just 4 miles, it's like 5 or 6. It's like you don't think of it, it's 18 and 20 minutes at a time, like just for those extra 2 miles. But then if you span out over the week, it's you've added mileage substantially. So it's just a build, and we have completed 2 weeks out of the 16 weeks in the marathon, and then Hyrox we have, I don't even know, is it 10 weeks yet? 9?
We have something around there.
So it's definitely exciting, and again, we're going to keep doing this, and like it's, the video aside, it's just fun to recap this stuff with you, Patrick. So like this is going to be a cool series, so hopefully we just keep improving, being consistent, and could just keep pushing.
Yeah, I agree with all of it, and the main thing in my mind is just no injuries, injury prevention, because we're obviously loving what we're doing right now.
Yep. All right. So week 2 done. Pursuit. Let's go.